What's up, guys? Like we talked about, I pulled the trigger and I decided I needed to jump in, and I found a decent deal, and I don't know yet, I haven't opened it, but I found Gilius Thunderhead for only 70 bucks. That's it. Then I found a set of 2 skeletons, which were also only about 40 bucks. Both of these things on Big Bad Toy Store are much more than that. The skeletons are almost $80, and he's almost $140. So, I'm curious. I'm pretty sure that's real. I don't know why I got such a good deal on it, but we're going to open Gilius today, and if it turns out that he's authentic, that he's real, that he feels real, that he's a fantastic figure, and I honestly think he is, then I just hit the jackpot, and there's only one character I need. Let's do it. So on a quick side note before we get started, boy oh boy, collection stuff is crazy, and it's always changing, and you always have to figure out new things and conduct your space. Well, these characters are big, and they're awesome, and they're amazing, and I do definitely want them. I prefer bigger figures with more detail. That's honestly part of the reason why I prefer Masterverse to Origins, which got me thinking. If I'm going to really do this, this shelf probably needs to be Masterverse. And all of these guys probably need to switch over to the shelf that I was originally staging for Masterverse, because these figures are smaller, they'll fit on there, and they'll look fine. That's neither here nor there when it comes down to the video today, but it's important because I'm going to need space for things like this to get them up on this shelf or onto this shelf here. And as you could tell, this shelf is primarily for a lot of the things that we're staging to open, and we're still pretty behind on that too. It's just the nature of making videos. You try to get them done as fast as you can, but one video can be anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, and then editing and yada yada and blah blah blah. But also, part of this entire thing is that I'm going to have to start getting some figures off the shelf. Like this. I don't know where that came from. I don't remember. I have no clue. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy it. It had to have been some sort of Christmas present or birthday present or something, some hand-down thing. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, Bill likes Spider-Man. There we go. Had to be something like that, because I don't do pops. So she's going to go on my sales table, and probably going to price her at like $5. She could be worth more than that. She could be worth less than that. But in all honesty, when it comes down to stuff like this, and the collection at large, I don't mind every now and then not going for the full price. Sometimes it's good to just move something. And since I'm a loose collector and a loose vendor, a lot of loose collectors are coming to me and not in-box collectors, and because of that, they're not expecting to pay huge price, and sometimes you just gotta move inventory, and if I'm gonna clear space on the shelf, I can't bother myself to look up every single item. So, she's $5. That gets her off the shelf. That creates a little more space for the DC stuff that's coming in, because we got new DC stuff on the way, which I'm looking forward to. And now it's time to open Gilius Thunderhead. So, if we remember from last time we talked about her, and that's the main reason she's up here right now. So let's move that, and let's move her. We're going to put all her stuff over here for right now. I have an actual spot where all this goes, but for right now we're just going to move the figure because we probably are going to compare. I figure it would make a lot of sense because she's going to be the absolute determining factor as to whether or not this guy is everything that he claims to be. So, unlike normal, we already know, I'm reaching all the way across here to get this box cutter. Haha! Okay, now, we already know this is a pretty solid box for what it's worth, but it's nothing unbelievable. We're not going to be necessarily keeping it. It just is the way that it is. It's got a cool side piece right here, which is pretty cool, and that's going to be the exact same on the other side over here. And then, of course, right there is the Golden Axe label, and then under here is also the Golden Axe label and all the information. And on the back, there's no real cross-sell here unless you count this. Those are the 3 characters I'm going for. That kind of makes sense for what it's worth. And just like the last time, it's not just because it was not just because it was a female figure. This is a line that is expressly sold to adult collectors. That's cool. I like that because it's definitely one of those things in a way that kind of helps to prove our point that we've been arguing for a while on this channel, that adult collectors are rising in the market every single day, and this is becoming a more normal hobby as time goes on. So let's move this here. We'll pull him out here. And once again, we got another one of these. And once again, I'm going to say exactly what I said the last time, is that I feel that on a personal note, this should have been where he was in front this time. She was in front the last time. He was in front the other time. And this one isn't as pristine as the other one. It almost seems like there's a little mark here, possibly from packing the guy in there or whatever. Or maybe the chicken is really fat and kind of pushed back against it. But that's okay, because I've got another one of these, and I only plan to really frame one of these, but I do plan to actually frame it. I think that's a really solid, cool image. So here we go this way. Ooh, that was close. Okay, first thing we're going to check out is the chicken. And of course, we talked about this last time. This is one of those things where they built the coffin, and all you got to do is uplift the coffin. You lift the coffin up, and you got it. It's done. It's that simple. Chicken. Bam. Oh my gosh. This is an awkward little figure thing. That is so cool, though. Look at it. That is very blatantly the chicken from Golden Axe. Look at the chicken. Look at the chicken. That is so awesome. Look, guys, this is one of those goofy things that existed in the video games that you just kind of accepted. There was a giant chicken, and its main attack was to just flail its tail at you, which the tail, by the way, seems to be a wireframe thing, so it can actually move around and whatnot, and has a lot of possibilities in how it moves. That's pretty cool. Let's pop his butt on. There we go. Butt is popped on. It can move like that and everything. I don't think that that's one way or another going to make too big of a difference. Nah, it just moves all over the place, and there it is. Chicken. Chicken is here. That's the beak. I can't remember exactly what this thing is called. I really can't. I think it's called, I think it's something beak. Something. I do remember something about it being called a beak. Does this close? No. Does this move? No. It's pretty much a solid piece here. And then it has the little thing for the guy to sit on. Its legs move pretty well. It's got a little bit of bend here, a little bit of bend here. It doesn't have really too much outward, but it has them. It has all this type of movement right here. It has some decent, a little bit of movement here and a little bit of movement here. Just enough to get it standing the way that you need for Gilius to come in and use the chicken. So, speaking in which, thump, whoop. Okay, let's move that, throw that to the side, pull him out, put him down. He came with 2 gripping hands, which are right there. He came with 2 posing hands, which are right there. They are female hands, so just keep that in mind. If you ever, if you're the kind of person like me, I actually have an accessory drawer where I put a lot of this stuff, and these are female connection hands, so I purposely put them in that specific section. We have his axe, which is really good, by the way. That is a solid axe. It looks like it has a lot of detail on it. I like it. I really like it. It's got decent paint on it. It's metal, but it doesn't just run one color all up the bar. It has fading effect right in here, and it goes down, then it's kind of brighter right here, and it goes back down into a more tarnish look. Oh, I keep dropping it. Tarnished look down here. So it kind of gives you the idea that this is where his hands would have been. He'd have been holding the axe over time. And of course, if you ever had something like that where you hold something and there's certain areas, or some areas get tarnished from use and other areas, and you could tell like this is where he sharpens. So a lot of the metal is a lot shinier in that part because it gets more use than this tarnished area right here that's darker. It's just cool. It's a cool effect. It makes the item feel worn, and that's awesome. Okay, his second head right here is fantastic already. It's got this angry face. The beard has movement. That surprises me. The hair is made from that kind of plastic that allows it to move all over the place so his head won't get stuck or nothing like that. The helmet doesn't come off. It's not a separate piece or anything, and that's fine. And now, him. There he is. There's Gilius Thunderhead. And he looks fantastic. I think this is real. I don't see any indication in the art, in the variants, in anything, in the quality, in the plastic. I don't see any indication whatsoever that this is not exactly what it claims to be. It's got its movement and everything like that. I'm not feeling anything that seems off. That's a little tight. But it's a man. It's not the same joint configuration as the woman is for all of this stuff in general. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying anything one thing or another. He obviously he cannot kick his butt, but he's got it here. This whole thing, this tunic thing is, I think this is laid over the top of an actual chest sculpt. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like it. Maybe not. Maybe that's a little iffy. But it certainly feels like that could be the case. And if that's the truth, that's pretty cool in its own right. He does have toes. That's actually pretty cool. He has the ankle and everything. He has a twist this way, but not down here where you would expect it in the boot. They didn't work in something like that. But still really, really cool. Now, her hands were incredibly easy to pop in and out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to flip his hand to his weapon. And as far as I could tell, his weapon hand, in terms of the game, the hand that holds the axe is the left hand. Interesting. So he's left-handed, she's left-handed, and the Conan man is right-handed. Where am I getting my information from? Well, just looking at the selection screen right here, which is what this is the original selection screen from the game, I could tell that that's his right hand, that's his left hand. The left hand seems to hold the axe. Same with her. That's her right arm, that's her left arm. The left arm seems to be holding the sword. And then with him, that's his left arm, that's his right arm, and the right arm seems to be holding the sword. So Axe Battler is right-handed, Thunderhead is left-handed, and Flare is left-handed. That's interesting. It's just kind of a cool little thing because it's something that I just didn't know about the characters in general. But really paying attention, when you get figures, this is one of the cool things that happens when you pick up a figure, is you examine it, you look at it, you see all the little parts of it and all the little intricate details in the paint job and the things like that, and you just tend to learn a little bit more about the figures and you care a little bit more. You kind of look into things like we just did right there. I want to put the thing in his hand, but I don't want to put it in the wrong hand. And there it was. That was the way that I found out what hand he is specifically supposed to be using. And it's this one. So let's pop it off. Very easy. That was very easy. And let's put this one, because that's the one that's going to hold the axe. No real resistance. Didn't have a problem there. It goes this way. It doesn't seem to go that way, but that's okay. Let's get that axe in his hands, that huge, huge axe. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. The hands are of a rubber material that move. They bounce back, so they hold their form, and he grips that axe really solid, but it's not a pain to do it. It's not a pain to move and get that axe into position like that. You just kind of open the hands up, you force them open, see? And then you just let them go, and they go right back in. So that's real nice. They're made from a very, very fine material. I really like it. Like I said, this is a movable material. It's a much more Kind of like the same as his hair, where his beard has a lot of give. This has a lot of give. And I like that a lot, actually. So let's, yeah, this is pretty much him on the picking screen. He's like, hey, so he's kind of looking that way and everything, and he's like, pick me. And he's ready to throw down. So let's move his arm up here. Let's see if we can't, like a straight up, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's a man right there. That's a big, no nonsense, no bullshit man right there. He will hurt you. If you're stupid enough to stand against this man, you're gonna pay for it. That dude is awesome looking. Let me try to get close. I got my light in here this time. I learned a little bit. That face is fantastic. That is really, really good. All of this, I love the veins here and everything, and right here, and even in the hands, the sculpt is magnificent. This guy is really, really good. I mean, it's really impressive. The hair, the coloring, dude. But you pay money. You pay money for this, 100%. Just like I said about Tyrus, if you're going to want some of these guys are money. I found mine on Amazon for $70. And I already told the story about it. I was just watching the prices, and I was watching them go down, 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 down. Then they started going up, 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 and I finally said, if this turns out to be real and I don't jump on it, I'm going to kick myself. And I bought it. I see nothing on the box that would indicate that it is fake. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe somebody sees something I don't see, but I'm telling you, that's Storm. That's Collectibles. I think that's right. Now I know she's real. So, like when I look at hers, that's what we're going to do real quick. Her box, Collectibles, that's spelt the same way. That's Golden Axe. Golden Axe. If you're looking for fakes, sometimes you can find them this way. You can really look at these boxes and you compare, and you look at things like the logos and the little information and things that are like that, because you'll see it like Play Arts Kai. A lot of the fakes, what you'll end up coming across is like the L in Play will be an I or something like that. And so it's just like this real quick thing that your eyes will look over, and the rest of it looks so spot on that you'll never question the fact that it's a fake. But it's a fake. In fact, I opened a fake Wolverine, and that's actually on this channel right here, where I opened it up, checked it over, talked about how, yeah, it's fake, but it's just going on the shelf. I don't really care one way or another, and didn't really cry about it. But yeah, really, really cool. I think this is 100%. I don't see any indication, absolutely nothing that makes me feel like this is fake. And when I bought it on Amazon, also, when I bought it, the vendor that I bought the two items from had a 4.5-star rating. Like, it was very, very high, and everybody that was commenting and everything like that was like, this is real, blah, 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 this and that, real good pieces, quality items, this and that. So everything that I saw indicated that this was Gilius Thunderhead, and yes, it is 100% real Gilius Thunderhead, and there she is, and we now have two of them. There we go. We have two of them ready for battle. This is awesome. These figures are awesome. Look at those. Those are literally some of the most solid figures I have ever bought in my entire life. I mean, they are. I mean, it would be hard to deny otherwise. I mean, let's be honest here and think about some of the other figures that are on the shelf. Like, there's a Gold Ranger. He's cool, but like, his detail is not even close to this, right? And then if you want to jump into the next wave of something like that, there, she's from the Lightning Collection. She's really cool. Her detail is really fine and everything, but she sits in the bracket where she's supposed to sit. She is a figure that runs about $25 to $35, depending on where you get her from and her rarity and things of that nature, and deluxe and things. I'm just talking overall. Even a villain who is very cool, sculpted, and evil looking. He's really cool. But I mean, the amount of detail between these two, and especially, like I can feel it already when I'm holding him, he doesn't feel like this. You pay the extra money, okay? It may be a little off-putting to pay the extra money to get something like this. That's a $100 figure, essentially. For the chicken with him in that pack together, that is a $140 figure. That's something like Big Bad Toy Store. I got lucky. I found mine on sale, crazy sale, and I bought it up immediately because I could not believe that that was a thing. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. She is fantastic. These are amazing, and I can't wait to put the last guy with them. But he's going to take me a moment to get my hands on. He is not a quick buy. 2 down. 2 down so far, and they're amazing figures. I mean, like I said, you pay for these. You will pay money to get your hands on these. Aside from all that you pay for what you get, that if you're going to go into high-end figures, you're going to pay money, you're going to get less figures over time, but they're going to be dramatically better. These are going to photograph fantastically. There is no doubt in my mind that these are going to be amazing. The next thing that I need to do is I need to get the skeletons open, because specifically that's what I plan to do for my next photography thing, is go down to my diorama, and I plan to make like an action scene, a Golden Axe action scene between these two and the 2 skeleton warriors that I got, because I just feel like that's going to be really sick. That's my next shoot, and it's the reason you haven't seen me posting any of my photography stuff, is because I've just been waiting. I've been waiting to do that. I want to work with these high-end figures next. And not that I'm done working with the Motu stuff. That's not even close to being true. I'm definitely not done with the Motu stuff. But my mind has been really focused on, I want these shots done, and I don't want to rush the process. I want to get the videos out like I'm supposed to get them out, and so that's the reason you haven't seen any posts from my photography stuff recently. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's on my Instagram and things like that. I'm currently doing action figure photography whenever the mood strikes me, because it's something that I've always been interested in and I've always kind of put off, and I have the eye for it. I guess I'm patting myself on the back, but I really do feel like I have the eye for it, and I've had a lot of people already tell me that they're liking my shots and everything like that. So, confidence boost for myself, if nothing else. I've spent an awful lot of time doing photography and videos and things like that. Not that you see a lot of the production side of it in these videos, because these are very simple, and I just like to kind of get them done and get them out there, and these are simpler videos. But for what it's worth, I did do videography for a major corporation, and I also did photography for a major corporation. So I have a decent eye for how to get photographs that I like, and I've just really enjoyed the hobby so far, coming into it with just like, I don't know, it's just exciting. It's exciting to come into something that I've always wanted to do and kind of hit the ground running with it. And I made a decision after doing a couple of the Motu shoots and a couple of the Breath of the Wild shoots that I said I want to do something big. I want a hardcore top line collectible figure, something real special. And then I got to looking and things like that, and I already told you the big story that, you know, after a while, I remembered I always loved Golden Axe, but then we started playing it, me and my kid, and then they just brought back all this stuff, and then I found Storm Collectibles, and then one thing led to another, and I was like, I pulled the trigger, and these guys came in, and really what I was waiting for, this is kind of crazy, to do my next shoot, I was actually waiting for the Red Sonja to come in, which actually I just got the email today. She's been mailed. She's on the way. That's fantastic news, by the way. So I'm really looking forward to her dropping. And that's the one that's the one specifically that I was looking forward to, that I was saying, this is going to be great. I'm going to, you know, take pictures of her. She's going to be a very high class figure. And then these guys, they beat her to the punch. So now I think I really want to get that skeleton opened, and I want to do that. So I guess preview for the next video, you know that I've got the Skeleton Warriors and I'm going to bring them up here and I want to check them out. I want to see the engineering on those and see if they're super thin and do they just lank and fall over and are they a pain in the ass, or are they really good? Because so far, these have been really good. And by the way, to give credit to Storm Collectibles on a small front that I've watched a lot of other toy creators do, that's a female. And she stands up. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you've been collecting for as long as I have, especially in things like Marvel and whatnot, where you buy something like the White Queen, and she has like these toothpick ankles, like they're so unbelievably small, and then she's on like stilettos, and you try to stand her up, and the figure itself can't actually stand up. She can't do it. Like, and it's not just her, it's a lot of figures. It's a lot of female figures, because what they want is they want that comic book look, and they want them to be smaller as opposed to the males, but the males are small themselves, because it's just the nature of how they build the bodies for that toy line. So the males, even when they're super big, they're not big like Masterverse He-Man figures. Like, that man is ridiculously buff. And then I'm going to go ahead and get up and walk over here, and I'm going to grab one of my guys here. Let's grab 1980 Cyclops and put him down here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just look at that right there, and you'll get what I'm getting at. These guys are small as compared to these guys. These barbarian men are big men. These are not big men, even though they are big men. This man, Cyclops, is permaflexed. He's permaflexed. He cannot not flex. It's impossible. He just stands there and is buffer than anything that you've ever seen in your entire life. Straight up Bruce Lee physique going on here. And that's cool, but it means that when the body cap for the men is small, the body cap for the women, in order to create the comic book effect that they're looking for, is even smaller. And that creates a situation where when you get the women, sometimes they are impossible to stand up. And I mean as close to impossible as you can possibly imagine. Like, so here's DC. This is Batgirl, and this is my favorite Batgirl. The new 52 Batgirl was my favorite Batgirl. That armor, that yellow and black that looked like it came off the cartoon series and everything, is fantastic. She has toothpick feet. The ankles are straight up toothpicks. I can pinch her ankle and touch my fingers together on both sides, here and there. That is a small foot. It's almost as small as her ankle. And she wears these, so she's got these like ridiculous plaits here, and then her foot size, her area, is like this, okay? And so then you stand her up. I'm going to stand her up. Hold on. This chicken is standing up better than she is. I'm going to stand her up. Hold on. I got her. She didn't fall down. I got to give him that. Really, but that's... Try to do any kind of pose with her. I could probably do 1,000 poses with her, and she will stand up. And she will not. As if she could do a pose. Her movement is terrible. Like, it's really bad. I want another kind of figure I want another figure in this look that is sculpted better than this. If McFarlane does one of these, I'm on board. If he's done one of these, I'm on board, because, like, I really don't like... She's incredibly limited. I can't remember what she's from. In fact, if I remember right, I went to Six Flags or something like that and seen her on the shelf and was like, oh man, sweet, because it was my favorite Batgirl, so I bought her, and, you know. But, like, you got to give it to the Storm Collectibles. Their figures feel balanced. Like, the weight in the body is not so bad that they can't take 100% dynamic poses, and that's something I'm really looking forward to in the photography idea, because I can do dynamic poses where, like, he can swing down and be stepping into a swing or something like that, and I have no doubt in my mind that he'll hold the pose. And I also have no doubt in my mind with her that I'll be able to create all kinds of situations that the figures will stand of their own accord, of their own weight, and I won't have to bring stands down and kind of flip the stand and kind of grab a hold of one part of the figure and then kind of get it out of frame and then cause a blur effect and try to make sure the stand is as least in there as possible, or purposely go back. And because I don't want to do a bunch of editing, I want to take the pictures. You get the idea. And so it's so awesome when you get figures that can do stuff like this, because these are just fantastic. Storm Collectibles, you've earned a fan. In 2 figures, you've earned a fan. From Storm Collectibles, I have a Taki on pre-order. Still a ways away, but I have a Taki on pre-order. And then the next Storm Collectibles thing that I'll be getting, which this will be a little ways off, I've got to save up some real money to get my hands on this guy. Axe Battler. He's the most expensive one, and I haven't found him on Amazon, and I don't know how many other vendors I'm willing to take chances with, but he's like $240. He'll come with 2 skeletons, a red dragon. It's the same one as this. When I was looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one. It's just painted different. So he comes with a red dragon, 2 skeletons, himself, some extra hands, things of that nature, and his awesome sword. And he's basically Blue Speedo Conan, and we're looking forward to him very much. I say we because, guys, you're not looking forward to that? Because I'm looking forward to that. If you're not, I don't know how, because he's fantastic. He's the last one from Storm Collectibles in terms of this that I'm going to get. I don't think I'm buying Death Adder. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so though. I got a feeling I'm not doing that. He's cool, but like he's just a bit. I don't know. Maybe. I'll fight with myself. But chances are, I got a lot of other things. Like I really do want to finish Masterverse. I want to get that entire set and everything. Hey, that's collecting. We're always trying to figure out what's next and where to spend the limited funds we have and how to guarantee the space in terms of the things that we buy. And in terms of space, if I don't get on it and start working this out soon, I'm not going to be able to do it. That's just the truth of it, because as it stands right now, I've got to open the rest of these things so I can get the space back and get the packages out of the way. All these got to come over here. The Masterverse has got to go up here. And some of the stuff has to come off the shelf. And the bottom, all the comic books on the bottom need to come out of storage, because I count this area as storage. They need to come off of this and go downstairs to the bookshelf that I bought that's specifically for the graphic novels. Get those on there so that all the play sets and the big stuff can hit the floor down here across the bottom and be really cool at the bottom, as well as figures that simply don't stand on my shelf without me going out of my way for the figures. Like this Spock stands here, but he doesn't stand here and he doesn't stand here, and he's just really big. I mean, he's really big. That old man Spock is huge, and it's tough to figure out exactly where to put him. And then I've got like Megazords and things like that that would just be better set to the floor, where I can guarantee the shelf, and even if this shelf has to come up a little bit, it could do that without having any harm to the bottom layer where all the actual big stuff could go. And then I have a cubby hole that I plan to kind of dig out, and once I sell the single issues, I'll find a shelf that fits in that cubby hole, and I'll put it in there, and then I'll light the cubby hole and I'll put some stuff in there too. I've got the space if I'm willing to figure it out and utilize it properly. I just have to do so. That's the nature of it. I have one room. This is it. If I can't work in here, it can't be done. But hey, I think I've rambled enough. I've given you enough toy talk in general alongside the normal video. And Gilius Thunderhead turned out to be fantastic, and he's real. As far as I could tell, unless somebody saw something I didn't see, I'm telling you, I caught a hell of a deal. I got Gilius Thunderhead, real, Storm Collectible, for $70. You can find them deals, you just gotta look around. Later on, guys.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.